Hi everybody, my name is Jens Larsen. The Lydian Dominant sound is a great sound to pull some cool effects out of, and is also a kind of sound that you can actually apply to a lot of different situations. So it will work well if you have a static dominant chord. If you play a blues and want to play it on the tonic chord there, you can use it on a tritone substitution or a 4 minor chord. In this video I'm going to go over 3 different Lydian Dominant licks and show you some of the great arpeggios and melodic ideas that I use when I'm improvising with the Lydian Dominant sound. If you want to learn more about jazz guitar, about understanding chord progressions and improvising over them using arpeggios or playing chord voicings with extensions, then subscribe to my channel. If you want to make sure not to miss anything and stay up to date, then click the little bell notification icon next to the subscribe button. The 3 examples that I'm using in this video are all using an A7 Lydian Dominant, so that's this type of sound. And the A7 Lydian Dominant Scale is of course the same as the E melodic minor scale, so that would be this scale. Let's get to it. The first example has 3 main components, 2 arpeggios and a triad pair. The first arpeggio that I'm using is an arpeggio that's not strictly diatonic to the scale, so you won't get it if you stack thirds in melodic minor, but you can still construct it, and that's the G major 7 flat 5 arpeggio. So the G major 7 flat 5 is actually a great voicing for an A7 as well. So you have this type of voicing, or this one. So they're all G major 7 flat 5 chords, and the arpeggio gives you sort of the core part of the chord, so the 7th and the 3rd, but also a 13 and a 9 if you relate it to an A root. So I play it from the 7th, and then up the arpeggio to the flat 5. From here I start using another arpeggio that's also not strictly diatonic, so that's an A7 flat 5. And I start on the flat 5, go down to the root, up the arpeggio to the 7th. And then I go into a triad pair, and I'm just using each triad once. And the triad pair that I'm using is the most common one in melodic minor, which is the one with the 2 major triads next to each other. And in E minor that would be, so E melodic minor, that's A and B major. And you get sort of the core A major sound, which fits with our A7, and then you get the sharp 11 and the 13 and a 9 from the B. And that's sort of the sound that you can get out of that triad pair. So I start with the A major triad in second inversion, and then I play the B major triad, and that's also in second inversion, but I try to sort of change up the melody a bit so it doesn't become too predictable, and I do that by starting on the root, and then down to the 5th, and then up to the 3rd. And then I end the line on C sharp, which is of course the 3rd of the A7. The second example starts with an extended range arpeggio. This arpeggio is constructed by stacking 2 different structures. So the first one is a drop 2 voicing of an A7 flat 5. So that would be this one. So we get sort of the D sharp in there, so we have that Lydian sound. And for the rest it's just root, sharp 11 or flat 5, the 7th and the C sharp, which is the 3rd. And then on top of that I add a B sus4 triad, so that's a B, E and F sharp. Together I have this arpeggio. If you want to check out more on constructing extended range arpeggios like this, then check out my video called Crazy Arpeggios. I'll link to it in the description of this video. From here, with our B sus, I'll go on and I move that up stepwise diatonically, which means that I get sort of a C diminished sus4 triad. And from here I get a melodic idea that's kind of coming out of a G augmented triad. And I start with the F sharp as a leading note, so then I go up to the C sharp, then down to the 3rd, and then I end the line on the high D sharp. With this last example ending on the high D sharp, you can also tell that you can easily put this line to use as a line on a tritone dominant. So if we have an A7 resolving to A flat major 7, then this line would be something like. Chordal arpeggios can also be really useful in spelling out the Lydian dominant sound, and that's what I'm using in this third example. But the first part of it is using an arpeggio that's really useful for really sort of emphasizing the sharp 11. And that arpeggio is the major 7 sharp 5. So I'm playing that as a downward sweep. So that's a G major 7 sharp 5. I start on the F sharp with a downstroke, then I'm sweeping the rest of the arpeggio. And I'm combining this with an F sharp minor 7 arpeggio where I skip up to the E, then again economy pick 2 notes, and then play the F sharp. From here we get to the chordal arpeggios. So first the chord arpeggio from G, so G, C sharp, F sharp, which really is also kind of spelling out like an A7 with a 13. And the next one is basically just starting on the C sharp and then doing it there, so C sharp, F sharp, B, which is kind of together is giving us this sound of sort of an A7 with a 13 and a 9. And then I'm skipping down to the E and sliding down to the sharp 11. The material that I'm using in these examples is of course in part just diatonic arpeggios and a few arpeggios that are constructed in the scale but not strictly diatonic. And for the rest I'm really using a lot of chordal harmony and sus4 triads, and it really does pay off to check out those things in melodic minor. If you're interested in a video where I go over some of these exercises and talk a little bit about what kind of sounds they give you and how you play them and practice them, then leave a comment on this video. If this is the first time you see one of my videos and you want to check out more on jazz guitar, learn something about how to improvise over chords, play voicings with extensions and so on, then subscribe to my channel. I publish a new lesson every Thursday and I've been doing this for quite a while, so there's already a lot of stuff available on my channel. If you want to help me keep making videos like this one, then check out my Patreon page. I have a small community on Patreon that are supporting me and helping me finding the time and the money to make videos like this and also like the other videos that I publish on my channel. On Patreon I can also give you something in return for your support, and of course you can give me some feedback on what you would like to see videos on. The first arpeggio is a triad. It's not a triad. It really isn't a triad. The first arpeggio has 3 main components. The first example has 3 main components. That's about it for this week. Thank you for watching, and until next week.